Hey, welcome back to Anti-King. I hope your family survived Zombie Jesus, or whatever. Let's get into it. Today we're doing the second episode of a series that aims to highlight actors who have maybe outperformed their reputation. These actors are often relegated to bit parts, or typecast as the funny friend, or even as a plot device, or oftentimes with women, the hot girl. Judy Greer is honestly a weird combination of these. I struggled on whether or not to even include her in this series because she has been in some of the highest grossing films of all time, and I've never met anyone that doesn't like her. That being said, I think her impressive body of work combined with her lack of lead roles more than warrants a deeper look, so let's dive right in. Judy was born as Judith Therese Evans in Detroit, Michigan on July 25, 1975. She spent her childhood in Livonia, Michigan before graduating from theater school at DePaul University in 1997. She adopted her mother's maiden name, Greer, as her stage name, as there were already a ton of actors named Judy Evans. She got her first role in the horror film Stricken in 1998 opposite acting legend Jamie Kennedy, and later that year played a small part in the drama Kissing a Fool. In 1999, Judy was given the opportunity of a lifetime. A lot of actors will toil away with small roles for years before landing a lead role in a movie, and Judy got that opportunity in just her third credited role in Jawbreaker. I think this early success combined with her relentless work ethic was a catapult that really allowed her to continue to find work for this long. Jawbreaker was released in 1998 and stars future underappreciated career of subject Rose McGowan. In Jawbreaker, Greer plays over-the-top stereotypical dorky girl Fern Mayo, who becomes Violet when she discovers a group of cool girls accidentally killed their friend and buy her silence by including her in their clique and transforming her social life forever. Greer brings a seemingly genuine naivety to the role, and it makes her transition into chaotic good manipulative bitch later on feel that much more earned. They didn't just turn her into one of them, they perfected her. She was the perfect version of the person they sought to be, and she used it to destroy them. And while Jawbreaker garnered fairly negative reviews at the time of release, it's gone on to gather quite the cult following in the decade since. It's basically Heathers meets Scream, and while I'm not as big of a fan as a lot of people are, it's got some fantastic moments and is worth a watch for sure. Judy then went on an absolute tear in the early 2000s, appearing in minor roles in What Women Want, The Wedding Planner, Adaptation, 13 Going on 30, and The Village just between 2000 and 2004. She also began her role as Kitty Sanchez in the acclaimed Arrested Development in 2003, and while I know people watching this are probably expecting me to talk about that, I never got into the show, and it's been like 20 years and 12 revivals, and it's debated whether or not those are even good things, and I just feel too late to all of it, so sorry. In TV, she had a role in 2.5 Men, which again I didn't watch, so sorry. And in 2007, she played Fatty Magoo, aka Ingrid, in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I loved her role in the 2 episodes she appears in here. She plays Dee's old classmate who suffered similar bullying as Dee because of her weight. You'd think this would have left the two sharing a bond over their childhood traumas, but the people in It's Always Sunny are just the absolute worst, so it instead created a bit of a rivalry. Dee uses Ingrid as sort of a measuring stick for her success. No matter how bad she had it, at least she wasn't Fatty Magoo. So seeing Ingrid looking great and thriving really drives Dee's insecurities through the roof and gives her some excellent comedic moments. There's no need for a contrived plot device when you can replace it with an actor who's much more capable of informing that character's motivation. It's a lot more effective and helps flesh out the character they're informing and the series as a whole. She also had a part in the How I Met Your Mother episode, The Wedding Bride, but it was a one-off and the character literally only existed to feed us exposition. I'm kind of bummed in hindsight because after becoming more familiar with Greer's work, I think she could have potentially been a great fit as a recurring character, or even as one of Ted's one-season love interest arcs. Around the time she was on How I Met Your Mother, she took movie roles in The Descendants, Love and Other Drugs, Jeff Who Lives at Home, and of course Marmaduke. She also appears in the 2013 Carrie remake. I'm aware this is an unpopular opinion, and to be honest I can understand why, but I absolutely loved the 2013 remake. Does it add anything to the lore? No. Does it take cringy steps to try and make the movie more appealing to a new audience? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, we still end up with a beautifully shot, well-acted, and interesting horror remake. I think a lot of people hear about another remake and usually just skip out on it, and you guys miss a lot of good stuff doing that. Anyways, Judy plays Carrie's gym teacher, who seems to be the only person in the goddamn movie actually trying to protect Carrie. It's a smaller role, but a pivotal one, and it really summarizes much of Greer's career. While her starring roles may be limited, her supporting roles have always been pivotal players in the movie's plot. This also marked a bit of a turning point in Judy's career for me, as many of her favorite roles of hers happened in the sort of second part of her career, as the very next year in 2014, she starred in the series Married. Married was an FX series that aired in 2014 and 15 and starred Greer as Lena Bowman, wife of co-star Nat Faxon's Russ Bowman, and while it may not be particularly well remembered today, I thought it paired well with its primetime counterpart, You're the Worst. It was also an extended peek at Greer's character work, which she excels at. Her and Faxon play married parents who are floating through a ho-hum existence. It explores problems couples face as they get old and reflect on their lives together, and try to adjust to an ever-changing interpersonal existence. They share an extraordinary chemistry together, and Greer nails all the subtleties required of portraying a bored suburban wife and mom. The show features some seriously reflective moments, as well as endearing ones that really appeal to our most human side. Personally, I think the show was slept on in a big way, and I wish we had gotten more than 23 episodes. That same year, she took a role in what became one of the highest-grossing film franchises of all time with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And she figured while she's signing on to mega franchises, might as well sign on to Jurassic World and Marvel's Ant-Man in 2015. However, my favorite role of hers from that year was the dark indie comedy Addicted to Fresno. Addicted to Fresno came out in 2015 and follows Greer and Natasha Lyonne as two sisters who find themselves in hot water after Greer accidentally kills a guest at the hotel where she works as a housekeeper. She used to work as a teacher at a fancy private school but was fired after a sex addiction got her caught humping the headmaster under the bleachers, turning her into a registered sex offender. The film plays on the codependency within the relationship to help inform the action throughout the plot. Shannon, Greer's character, is an addict and consistently uses her younger sister Martha, Leonie's character, to bail her out of the mistakes she's constantly making. Judy plays the character as vulnerable with a noticeable sarcastic facade, and once again, you'll hear me speak about this in every one of these videos, I promise, but the subtleties she added to the role are outstanding and done in a way only Greer could. The theme of codependency is explored curiously and openly, displaying the character's flaws plainly and allowing the audience to see firsthand the consequences of those flaws. Shannon is a sex addict and is dependent on Martha as almost a motherly character. It's revealed early on that they lost their mother to breast cancer, so it makes sense that Shannon would place her older sister in that role in her absence. Good on the writers for fleshing these characters out with subtext. Martha, however, is addicted to helping people. She gets immense satisfaction being regarded as nurturing, and therefore is naturally dependent on Shannon as a person seemingly in constant need of just that. I love this movie, and I'm really disappointed more people don't know about it. It also has a hilarious cameo by Kumail Nanjiani that deserves mentioning. She balanced out her repertoire with a host of indie films between 2015 and 18, some noteworthy ones being her appearances in Pottersville, Our Souls at Night, and All We Had. She took yet another blockbuster role in 2018 with a Halloween reboot. Halloween is my all-time favorite slasher series, and I thought this reboot was incredible. That being said, however, Greer seems uncharacteristically flat in this role. Her character once again serves mostly as a catalyst to inform the main character's motivation, but the emotion that should arise naturally from that information is absent. It's a shame, but I'm expecting a more fleshed out performance this fall in Halloween Kills. However, in 2018, Greer also took up a role in the HBO series Kidding alongside co-star Jim Carrey and director Michael Gondry of Eternal Sunshine fame. Kidding is set in Columbus, Ohio, and follows Jeff Picarillo, aka beloved children's television personality Mr. Pickles. Greer plays Jeff's estranged ex-wife who's grown distant since their son's death a year earlier in a car accident. The show is an exploration of their grief, and Greer once again nails it.
I live in reality now. It's not as colorful, but I see the world how it really is.
They explore the differences in the way the two characters express that grief.
The world is a perfect circle of endless possibilities.
It's not a circle. It's a hole.
Greer's character is lashing out, trying to feel something, and Jeff is trying his best to feel nothing. The show is genuinely hilarious and touching. I highly suggest checking this out if you haven't yet. So, what's she been up to recently? Well, working. She's remained one of the most hardworking and consistently employed actors in the industry. She has roles in 5 different films slated to be released in the next 2 years alone. Just last year, in 2020, she starred in an Into the Dark movie I loved called Good Boy. In Good Boy, Greer plays a constant loner who's seeking companionship but is tired of dating. She decides instead to adopt a dog, and the dog starts killing people that are mean to her. She brings a slightness to this character that really works considering the fragility of the character she's undertaken. It plays half as a slasher and half as an old-time creature feature, and the dog angle is pretty funny, but also fairly effective at times. It's a great watch if you're into that kind of thing. Greer's career has been a commendable one. Everyone around her talks about what a pleasure she is to work with, and that coupled with her work ethic has allowed her a long and notable career in an industry where longevity is scarce. While she hasn't been awarded as many starring roles as I think she's earned, she's been a pivotal plot point or lovable character in so many of our favorite movies. And I mean, she literally wrote an autobiography called I Don't Know What You Know Me From, because she's literally been in everything: horror movies, action movies, comedies, dramas, everything. And while she may never come to receive the roles I think she could be absolutely perfect for, she deserves a mention the next time you're talking about your favorite actors. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you feel so inclined. Next week I'm doing the South Park ranking episode. I have to make like a ton of slides. It's already the longest script I've ever written. There's gonna be a lot of work. I hope you guys check it out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, I'm taking a little break in May. Instead of doing like 4 to 6 videos like I usually do, it'll probably only be like 2 or 3. Got some medical stuff I'm getting taken care of. Anyways, I still have merch. I never dropped those other designs, so I'll do that. Might be done by the time this airs. Link for that will be in the description. I hope everyone has a happy holiday, and as always, stay safe and wear a mask.